Now we saying, yeah, though. Pull up stunt. Yeah, though, yeah, though. Ice game flood. Yeah, though, yeah, though. Every day I'm hustling. You know what it is, baby?
Y'all are now tuned into Talkin' Sports with Chris Mesa.
Hey y'all, this is Talking Sports with Chris Mesa. And man, I tell you what, we got an exciting show for y'all today. Thank y'all for tuning back in. Appreciate all the support that we've been getting. Of course, at the end of this show, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, okay? But man, we've got a real cool show for y'all today. I got a special guest today. We're gonna ask this guy some questions. We're going to let him give some of his NFL predictions like we've been doing in the past on this show. We're going to let this big guy give his predictions of what he thinks, He gets some up close and personal action himself. So I think he's going to give us some good takes here today, okay? And then lastly, we're going to ask him what he thinks about the NBA Finals and how he thinks it's going to play out, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about this guy we got on the show today, okay? First of all, he's a two-time All-AAC American Athletic Conference player. He's on Pro Football Focus's third-team All-American. He started his career out at Tulsa, okay, at the University of Tulsa. There he had 131 total tackles and 8 sacks at this point in his career, okay. Recently, he's transferred back to Baylor University here in Waco, Texas, and he's going to play his last season here for our Baylor Bears. Hey, sick 'em Bears, right? This guy, man, he's a beast. He's a force on the field, okay? And he's earned the nickname Baby Aaron Donald. He's earned that nickname from opposing teams and opposing players and in the national media, okay? This guy, lastly, he's a top 5 defensive tackle prospect in the entire nation right now, in the entire country. Man, I'm so excited to give y'all today Baylor's new transfer defensive tackle, Jaxon player, y'all. Jaxon, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I love being home. It's great.
Good, bro. Good, man. It's good to have you back home. I've known Jaxon here for a few years before he went off to Tulsa. Grew up in the same community here in Waco. Got to watch this young man play high school football at Waco Midway High School here, the same school that I went to and played at. This guy's no joke, guys. So I'm excited to get this show kicked off. We're going to start this show off, and we're going to kick it off with a few questions for Jaxon and give y'all some insight, as listeners, what some of these college football players go through. This guy, man, he's playing against some of the best, best of the best out there, and he's had some cool opportunities, and we're going to run through some of that and let y'all hear from his perspective what some of that looks like, okay? So, Jaxon, let's get kicked off with the first question, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, first question I have for you, Jaxon. You have got to play some cool places. In 2018, you got to play at the University of Texas, and you got to play at the University of Arkansas. In 2019, you got to play at Oklahoma State and Michigan State. In 2021, last season, you got to go up to Columbus, Ohio. And, man, you actually had a good game on national TV, man, and you got to play, there at Ohio State, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the most surreal football field you have ever got to place your cleats in college right now?
Michigan State was pretty cool because that was my first collegiate start, and that was the first game of my sophomore season. But the most memorable and the biggest place, I think, or craziest place I played was Ohio State for sure. But the horseshoe was wild. I think the attendance that day was like 98,000 or something like that. And just, I was a captain that game, and walking out to the middle of the field, looking up, and just nothing but a Red Sea, and it was pretty surreal.
I bet it was, bro. I mean, just walking out there and seeing that many people against you. What's that feel like with your teammates at the 50-yard line, man? What's that feel like, man?
I looked at my teammates. One of my best friends was another captain. I said, "Well, it's gonna be a long day." These fans are wild. They said some things. You hear all types of things, and it's just. And they put our fans where it was so many people you couldn't even see them. So it was crazy. And we had a good fan base come out to that game, but it was pretty crazy.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. So next question. Maybe this answers that question too. Which place had the loudest fans?
Ohio State definitely had the loudest, but we also made them the quietest I've heard. We, I think at one point in the fourth quarter, they were up 7 points versus us with like 3 minutes left in the game. And Ohio State shouldn't be up on little old Tulsa, only 7 points with 3 minutes in the game. And that place went hush, like you could hear a pin drop. So,
how did that feel, making 100,000 people quiet like that?
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, like, looking at your teammates, like, we got a chance to win this and shock the world because nobody expects Ohio State to lose to little old school. But it didn't go in our favor, but that was still one of the craziest moments of my career.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So let's move on to the next question, bro. Going to Stillwater, Oklahoma. You went there a couple times now. And you'll go, I don't know if you'll go there with Baylor this year or not. I'm trying to remember the schedule. You've been there enough, though.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
been there a couple of times now. Can you tell us what it's like on the sideline and the Oklahoma State fans slamming them paddles behind you? How close are they really? There's rumors that the fans are really close to the sideline.
They're pretty close, and they get really loud. They talk a lot of trash. But also, that's another fan base that gets real quiet when the game gets real close. And the last 2 times I played their game has been down to the wire, last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So, but yeah, they get to slamming the paddles, calling your names, do everything. And they're right behind you. I can touch one if I wanted to. It's just that it's crazy. Boone Pickens is a nice stadium. I like playing there.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. On to the next question, Jaxon. Now, this is a crazy tradition, in college football, right? There's a lot of really cool ones that you even as a player, being on the field, you get to experience and hear and see and stuff. And even though everybody knows this fan base does this, what's it like as a player, being on the field, the ball's about to be kicked off, and this next question happens. What on earth is it like hearing the Arkansas fans, quote unquote, call the pigs?
Oh, it's pretty cool. I actually like the little saying. That was one of in my recruitment trail in this transfer portal. It came down to Arkansas and Baylor, and that was one thing I always liked about Arkansas was the woo pig.
Yeah.
And when you hear that, the fans go crazy. They start yelling. Even the players say it on the field too. So it's a cool little tradition.
Okay, even the players get into it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They get to feeling it.
All right. And so, if you're out there and you don't know what the University of Arkansas does, before they kick the football off, every time they kick the football off, the fan base, as the team's getting amped up and the commercial breaks happening and the kicker puts the ball on the tee, okay? He goes back, he puts his hand up, and this is when the crowd starts doing this, what they call the pigs. And they start making this noise, and this is how it goes. They go, woo, and then the kicker starts going towards the ball, and they're going, woo, and then he kicks the ball off, pig suey. And so, if you can imagine, y'all, being in Jackson's shoes here, and your team's getting ready to receive the ball and start the game, and you've got 70,000 Arkansas Razorback fans calling their team, calling the pigs, man. So Jaxon got to experience that in his collegiate career, at Tulsa when his team went and traveled and played the Arkansas Razorbacks. So that's a little bit behind that story to understand what Jaxon is talking about here. Okay. Another question for you, Jaxon. Who has had the best visiting locker rooms when on the road?
Best visiting locker rooms? That's a good one. Now, I've been thinking about that one.
Yeah.
Navy's was decent.
Okay.
Navy had a decent locker room. I can tell you who the worst one is.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, the worst one was probably Ohio State.
Really?
Ones. Yeah.
No way. That awesome stadium, that awesome experience. What about the locker room?
It just it was pretty small. I mean, I thought it was pretty small. It wasn't that spacious that I could remember. We were kind of cramped, but I guess that's the whole purpose of it being a visitor's locker room. They don't want you to but I think they have like 3 or 4 locker rooms there. We just got the worst one, but it was all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't want you getting too comfortable at their home, do
no.
they?
Oh no, nothing like the Dallas Cowboys visiting locker room. Nothing like that.
Was it how was that?
So that was in high school, playing there a couple times. Those locker rooms were better than some of the colleges, like better than our home locker room was.
Wow.
They're spacious. Your locker is basically a little apartment kind of deal. Training table, the training room is big. It's wild.
So the Dallas Cowboys visiting locker room, they really treat their visitors real nice. Jerry Jones and them, don't they?
Oh yeah, and I think the Cowboys have like 8 locker rooms in that place. So they have more than one visiting locker room, and I got to be in 2 different ones, and both of them are pretty cool.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. Jerry Jones doesn't waste a dime there, does he?
Oh no, everything he puts good money into that place.
Right. So let's move on to the next question, man. I got a few more for you, okay? Now, strictly American Athletic Conference. Where was the toughest place to play for y'all when you were at Tulsa in the American Athletic Conference?
Cincinnati.
Tell me about it.
Cincinnati, and especially that's another team that this past season they were ranked number 2 at the time when we played them. It was college football game day, crazy atmosphere, the sold out crowd. I think it was 80. I think they have an 80, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy in there, and it gets loud. And that little bitty, like the architecture of their place is really cool how it's set up. But it gets really loud, and it's just that was the craziest place in the American. And then just playing them was even tougher.
Yeah.
But that came down to the wire. I think this year, what did they beat us? Oh, they got a goal line stand. And one of our goal line stands.
Right.
By far, that was the.
But you said that with confidence. No question. Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
No question about it. Memphis, SMU, Houston, no doubt about it. Cincinnati, and a lot of it is it because of their fans and how loud it gets there.
That, and they just produce they produce a lot.
It's a tough team to play.
Yeah, and just the atmosphere, the team, the coach, and the last few seasons they just had some guys. And I think they had 9 or 10 draft picks.
Yeah, they did.
So they're pretty good.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Next question for you, Jaxon. One of the funniest things that has happened in the locker room that you can share with us.
Oh man, I would say 2019. Was it San Jose? It was somebody we played. We won the game. And that season we didn't win that many games. So when we did win, our strength coach went crazy. He was jumping around and he jumped off of a locker and almost blew out his ankle.
Oh.
And he was trying so hard just to fight it and be cool, but he was limping and he could barely walk. And we were like, only you. Who told you to jump off the locker?
Right.
And he was like, I'll just show y'all how much I love the team. I was like, brother, you don't have to hurt yourself.
Do all that.
Yeah, you could have just cheered with us, but that's probably one of the funny locker room moments.
Okay. Next question for you, Jaxon. Next question. So, of course, the University of Tulsa, it's in the name. It is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So my question for you, Jaxon, is what was your favorite part of Tulsa, the city and the school?
City-wise, it kind of reminded me of Waco a little bit. It's a lot bigger. I think the Tulsa population and the surrounding areas that basically build Tulsa is like 900,000 or something
Oh,
like that.
man.
It's the second largest city in Oklahoma, but the way it's structured and how things are, like basically it's just a bigger Waco.
Okay.
About the school, I'm more so like my coaches and the support staff that we had more than anything. The school was okay. It was fine. It just, the school itself didn't support the football team as much.
Okay.
But their strength coach, like my strength coach, still one of my best guys to this day.
Yeah.
Our football coaches were great, and just the team that we built was pretty good.
Awesome, bro. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, what was your one of your favorite places to eat?
Ooh. So there's two. It depends on what type of food I want. And I miss it when I'm here because I got accustomed to it for 4 years. They had a place called Nola's, which was a Creole cafe. And they had this stuff called voodoo chicken. It's fried chicken, and then they put crab meat, 2 shrimp, and I think lobster or something. And then they put like this queso fondue sauce on top with 2 sides. And I was like, yeah. And it used to be $20 before the pandemic. So $20 and you couldn't finish it. It was the best meal ever. Then the pandemic hit and it went up to like 30. But still, I was going like once, twice every month.
You had to risk it all for it.
Oh yeah, I spent a little bit of my stipend check on that one. Didn't mind that place.
There we go.
And then the other one was Burn Cove Barbecue. They had good ribs. Their barbecue ain't Texas barbecue, but their ribs give a good competition.
So did it feel like that barbecue place in a sense almost felt like home? Because barbecue, we know that barbecue here in Texas, man, it's just like football, it's king, you know. But did it give a little bit of a home feel to it, finding a decent barbecue place up there to eat?
It a little bit, because all the other ones are what they think is good barbecue up there is not good barbecue. And I'm like, I told some of my teammates from up there, I'm like, hey man, y'all love this? Like this, people would be mad if you served this in Texas. But Burn Cove gave a little bit of that, what it reminded me of Texas a little bit. The only difference is they do bologna up there. I think that's an Oklahoma thing, but they do smoked bologna. I've never seen that before.
That is new. I haven't heard of that one, bro.
And it's big rounds of bologna, and I was like, yeah, I'm good on that.
Pat, you didn't even try. You had to pass on that.
Well, I tried it, but I was like, the only bologna I like is fried with a little red wrapper around it.
That's it. That's it. And sorry, Oklahoma folks, you know, just shoot south of the Red River, you know, come give some of the barbecue places a try. We're not lying to you, and but it'll be worth your time, and I promise we'll be friendly, okay?
Most definitely.
Next question, Jaxon. Next question. What are some of the things that you liked about Baylor, besides Waco being home, that might have helped with your choice to come back home into Baylor University for your last football season?
Some of the things I would say is, like, when I came on my official visit to Baylor, which is crazy, I came on an official visit to home. So for the people that don't know, on official visits, the college show you around the town, pretty much take you to eat at these places that the school considers the best places, and they feed you all day long. And they just give you the tradition of the city, and then they take you to Baylor. But for me, I was telling some of the coaches about Waco because I'm like, I'm from here. I know more about the city than y'all do. So, no, but one of my coaches was Sean Bell, who also is a Waco native, and it was pretty cool. So building that relationship with him was another reason I came here. I had built that relationship in high school when he first got the job, but the old coaching staff passed on me because of my height. Mm-hmm. So we kept that connection. We never got to talk because of recruiting laws and stuff, but that was another reason. Relationships I built with the coaches, I like that, and just the things I liked Coach Aranda. Coach Aranda is just the way he carries himself is different than anybody else. He's completely different than anybody else.
He beats to his own drum, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a special human. Like when I say they fed us, I was full from 9 a.m. on Tuesday till Friday morning. I was full, and I don't even think he ate anything in that time. And he was with us on every meal. He just would drink water.
Really?
And I was like, man, that is crazy. You look at all of the good food and don't eat.
Oh man, how does he do it? That's he's different.
Yeah, he's different, and he keeps that same like poker face at all times. He's just he's solid.
Yeah.
And when he laughs, it's like, oh, you laugh now. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's one of the smartest individuals I met too.
A lot of people say that about him, man. A lot of people say how smart he is, not just on the football field, but off the football field too.
Yeah, he's very intelligent. Like, wow, he's on a different planet.
Right. Let's move on to the next question, Jaxon, okay? And the next question actually, leads into what we were just talking about. Does Coach Aranda really carry that poker face 24/7 like that?
All the time. Even when walking into meetings. We had a meeting yesterday, and I was telling my teammates, I was like, man, he shows no emotion. Like, he just walks to the meeting, looks at us, and then he takes a smile, and then he's back to poker face. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
So what we see in the media, y'all see in the locker room, you see that off the cameras as well?
Oh, yeah. He's a straight shooter, though. That poker face, but he loves his team, and he cares for everybody. That's just natural face.
Is that because every time he's wearing green and gold, he's wearing his Baylor, he's in coach? Do you feel like he's in coach mode every time that y'all see? Is that what it is for him to be so serious all the time? It's business, right? Does he come in? Is that what it is to him?
I think he handles it like a business, but he's a very person-oriented person. So like he makes sure that we are better humans than we are football players. Because our motto for the team is person over player. They want us to be more role models and be stand-up citizens than they want us to be crazy athletes. Because for everybody, at some point, the cleats get hung up. And
That's right.
what you have to stand on is you as a person. So he really builds us with that and holds us to a high standard, and he treats us and makes us do things to make sure we're building our character and building our person over the player.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, he's a real good dude.
Awesome, man. Let's move on to the next question, okay? What's been the biggest transition from Tulsa to being here at Baylor as far as football program-wise? What's the biggest transition for you?
Transition-wise, it's a lot more work. We're up there all day. We work out constantly, and our workouts are long. Like, I think we had a weight room workout Wednesday that was 2 hours. And the warm-up is 30 minutes. At Tulsa, we didn't have a warm-up. So it was just, that's crazy. We have meal checks. We have different check-ins. Like, my day doesn't end until 5. At Tulsa, my day ended at like 9 a.m. So it's a little different, a lot more to work on. But, yeah, I like it. It's a lot more structured, definitely a lot more structured.
Okay, and hopefully that shows on the football field as well, right?
Oh yeah, that's why they won the Big 12 last year, and we're gonna win it again this year.
Hey man, I like to hear that, buddy. I like to hear that. Moving on to the next question, okay? You have worked your butt off to get here. I personally know that. You had no Power 5 offers coming out of high school. Are you excited for your first Big 12 season with the Baylor Bears?
I'm very excited. It's just a chance for me to prove to everybody that skipped on me 4 years ago now that I can play at any level and that I can produce at any level. And that's what Tulsa helped me show. And now that I got the opportunity to play at the Big 12 in front of my family and friends here in Waco, it's going to be great. I'm very excited to play at home this year.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Next question, okay? What does Jaxon Player bring to the defensive front here at Baylor for the fans listening, for the haters listening, for the opposing teams that are listening? What are they about to see when Jaxon Player steps foot on the defensive line for the Baylor Bears this year?
It's going to be I bring a different set of uniqueness to the football field because I'm strong, but I'm quick. But I'm not as tall as most D-tackles. But I make up for my quickness and my strength. But I can also play 8 different positions on the D line, so I can play different techniques. I can line up anywhere. So you're gonna just some of my teammates call me a bowling ball because it's just like, hey, you can curve it, you can throw it straight, you can do whatever. It's just gonna knock down multiple pins on this one today.
I like it, man.
So yeah, I'm gonna bring a lot to the table. It's just, it'll be different for everybody because every team's not the same.
So they just better watch out from everywhere from you, man. Huh?
Oh yeah, you never know what to expect, man. Don't. If you think you got a game plan, you might want to change it a little bit.
All right. You heard it, folks. You heard it. Moving on to the next question, Jaxon. What's your favorite quote from a coach anywhere, from Pee Wee, high school, college? What's your favorite quote from a coach, whether it be funny, whether it actually means something in life? What's your favorite quote that you ever heard from a coach?
Man, I've heard a lot of quotes that kind of stuck with me, but the one is actually from Coach Aranda. He said trust is built up in droplets, but it's taken away in buckets. So like to build someone's trust is hard. Mm-hmm. It's piece by piece, but as soon as you can do one thing, and everything that you built up can be thrown away. So just building that trust and trusting one of your teammates, trusting one another is real big. So I take that, I use that every day. Like I build people's trust. I try not, because it can be taken away in an instance. One wrong thing, it's just gone.
That's crazy, man. That's a good one. That's a good one. And what that means for a football team, man. You guys have to trust each other out there, man. If it takes 11 guys to know, I'm going to do my job. Are you going to do yours? Can we trust each other to do that? And can we trust each other on and off the field to accomplish what we want to accomplish, man?
It holds up in accountability too, just like even in the off season, if you're showing up late to workouts or you're late to meal checks and stuff, how well can I trust you to make that play in the crunch time?
Dang, serious business, man.
Yeah.
Serious business. Moving on to the next question, okay? Now we're gonna get into just some personal questions, man. We've talked a lot about Baylor, the transfer, being on the football field. What about Jaxon player, him as a person, right? What's your favorite thing to do off the football field?
It used to be watching movies.
Okay.
But I've grown into, I'm become a very big gun enthusiast. So I go to the gun range a lot now. I do stuff like that, do a lot more outdoor stuff. And I'm trying to get, my little brother's a rodeo kid, so I'm trying to get into riding horses a little bit, but I haven't built up that one yet.
Okay.
I'm working on it.
Riding horses is an art and skill of its own, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely. It's definitely taxing on your legs. For a big guy like me, your legs being on the saddle for so long, it hurts. It doesn't feel the best, but it's a pretty cool experience. And we got about 8 horses at my house, so it's pretty cool.
Oh man, that's cool. They make a saddle big enough for you, big guy?
Man, my little brother he's made it work. He got all different sizes, and he was just like, hey, whenever you want to ride, I got a horse for you. I got whatever you need. And I was like, all right. And I was like, this horse ain't gonna struggle now. This 300 pounds.
Exactly.
And he was like, nah, don't worry about it. And he got some pretty good stuff though.
There we go, man. There we go. Let's move on to the next question, man. What's your favorite food?
I've had a toss up on that one.
Okay. Because
it's between Mexican food and barbecue. Because I can have either one of them all day long. Now, I joke around with my family because I mix with black and white, and I just be like, I swear I have at least a quarter Mexican in me. I have to. I love Mexican food. I'm a sucker for it. And the culture, the tradition. I went to Cabo for spring break, and I was like, I don't want to leave. I just want to keep learning stuff down here. I want to learn Spanish. I want to keep eating this food. This is the best stuff ever. Yeah, and then barbecue is just, you can't go wrong with barbecue.
Not good barbecue.
Yeah, good barbecue, you can't go wrong. There's so many different things you can do with it. It's just...
Let me ask you a question, man. Because here in Texas, it seems like there's a certain rule. Does good barbecue need barbecue sauce or not?
No.
See?
You should, if you have to put barbecue sauce on it, it's not that good of barbecue.
Thank you. That's what we believe here in Texas.
Yeah, most
right?
It's just like steak. If you got a really good steak, you don't put steak sauce on it.
No.
Right. If you get a medium rare steak and you have to put steak sauce on it, that place has a terrible steak.
Thank you. Thank you for proving my point.
Yeah. Good barbecue is a little salt, pepper, and whatever other seasonings they use. And if it's smoked just right, it's tender, it's juicy. You ain't gotta worry about sauce.
There you have it, folks. Good barbecue does not need barbecue sauce, okay? Favorite movie?
That's a big toss-up too, because it's like two different spectrums. Like one is Denzel Washington. Remember the Titans. That's one of my top 5. And then I would go into The Godfather. I like The Godfather too.
Okay.
So it's like football team and then the mobster.
I got you,
So
man.
it's a little different.
That's good, man. What was your favorite team growing up?
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah, that's always been my team, still is to this day, even though we still haven't made it to the Super Bowl, which later on we'll get to that, but I feel like they're going to win the Super Bowl every year, so that's always my answer.
Yeah, you have to, right? This is the year. It's what we do as fans. We believe, right? We have to, man.
Yeah, never switch up. I always believe it, even when we're not in the Super Bowl. I'm like, we got cheated out of it.
Which is probably true. No, I'm messing.
Most
man. Moving on to the next question, Jaxon. Jordan or LeBron?
Michael Jordan. I always say Michael Jordan. I never got to personally watch, but I watched some old film and just the way he changed the game is crazy. And I'm a big lover of his shoes, so it's a little biased, but no, I think Jordan will forever be the greatest ever.
He did. He truly changed the game. Everybody that plays the game today, most of their game is modeled after what he came in and did and changed for basketball. So, yeah, that's hard to beat. That's hard to beat for sure.
Even LeBron said his idol was Michael Jordan. So, I mean, Kobe, everybody said their idol was Michael Jordan. So, it's kind of hard not to.
There's something there, right?
Yeah, most definitely. But LeBron he's definitely number 2.
There we go.
Definitely number 2. No questions asked.
Beast. Beast. Moving on to the next question, Jaxon, okay? Who's going to win the NBA Finals? We got the Warriors and the Celtics.
Warriors.
Okay.
I'm a big Steph fan. I like Steph Curry.
Okay.
I like the Warriors when they had Baron Davis and Monte Ellis and all them too, but they weren't as good.
Right. So, okay, you've been rocking with the Warriors then.
A little bit.
Okay.
And I don't watch NBA too much. No offense to y'all basketball players, I think it's soft.
Yeah.
Because of the fouls. You don't got fouls in football. You get to hit people every play.
Yeah.
So, but my brother was a basketball player, so I have a little leeway for it.
All right, keep up with it a little bit, huh?
A little bit.
All right. It's a family thing.
Yeah, I do a little trash talking, so I get it. I watch it for that purpose.
There we go. There we go, man. Well, let's get back to football then, okay? Let's get back to the contact sport, right? So on the show, Jaxon, what's been happening? I started this podcast almost 2 months ago now, and of course, it's the off season. It's college football off season and the NFL off season. I've started off the show covering the NFL divisions. I've covered the free agency moves, the NFL draft picks that happen in those divisions, and then I've made my predictions on who I think is going to win each of those divisions, okay? So, going to ask you, who do you think is going to win the AFC West? The Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders, or the Chiefs?
Probably the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes, he's still climbing uphill. They just lost Tyreek Hill, but you still got dynamic wide receivers, and they picked up a good wide receiver in the draft, or actually undrafted, that most people didn't think. I don't know why they let him go. Justin Ross, I think that's his name, or Jalen Ross from
Justin Ross from Clemson. That's it.
And I think he's gonna have a crazy season and make up for Tyreek Hill. Obviously, not make up the speed, but another good target for them.
There we go, man. I like that a lot. So who I picked was the AFC West. So we'll see how this plays out, man. Okay. I picked the Raiders. I picked the Raiders to win the AFC West. I think they picked up. They signed Max Crosby again, and they picked up another edge rusher, a big time edge rusher. And man, their defense got a lot better. But you make a good point with the Chiefs, man. With Justin Ross. Pat Mahomes really needed another target, and plus, man, that guy, man, he's unreal, isn't he, man? So I think he's going to find ways to get the football down the field for sure.
They're going to have to put together a good game plan. I feel like they'll be fine.
Okay. Let's move on to the next division that I have, okay? Who's going to win the AFC North? The Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens, or the Steelers?
Bengals. I think Joe Burrow, he's going to come back and have like a revenge season because he wants to get back to that Super Bowl. And with Jamar Chase having the season he had last year, I think the Bengals have a good shot at doing it again this year, making it all the way.
I do not disagree with you, man. I think the Bengals, man, and then their backfield with Joe Mixon and Shamaji P. Ryan, they went out this offseason and improved the offensive line for Joe Burrow, so I think it only gets scarier from here, right, man?
That was the biggest thing, was their offensive line was terrible.
Right.
If they can limit Joe Burrow's getting hit as much, even if they reduce it by half, it changes the whole outcome of their season last year.
Okay.
So I think if they can do that this year, that'll be pretty good.
So what do you think about the Browns with Deshaun Watson?
If he's able to play, that's going to be the big key factor. So I think everybody's still waiting to see if he's going to play. And I think the contract that he signed is he only gets paid $1 million this year because they don't know if he's going to play. And if he's able to play, then all the other bonuses and incentives kick in. But if he's able to play, Browns got a good squad too.
They do, man.
It's going to be a battle.
I
don't think the Browns' defense is as stacked and as good as the Bengals' defense.
There you have it. Cool. Next division, man. I've got a couple more for you. Okay. Who's going to win the NFC West? You got the Seahawks out there, the 49ers, the Rams, and the Cardinals.
I think the Rams can do it again if Aaron Donald decides he's going to play another season. They can do. They have the chance to do it again. The Cardinals are going to be the hardest person they're going to have to go through due to the fact of if Kyler Murray signs again, because I know he's holding out right now, but I'm also a little biased. I got a teammate that plays linebacker for them, so.
Zayvon Collins, right, man?
Yes, sir.
Give him a shout out real quick.
Sir, Zayvon. That's my boy. Yeah, hopefully he has a good season. He got a little banged up last year, had to miss a few games, but I think the Cardinals' defense is really good with Buda Baker and people like that.
Yeah. So. But they'll have a good season and they're right, but man, the Rams, man, they're just stacked, right? Matt Stafford, he finally, found a team, getting out of Detroit. Now we're seeing what that dude can do, right?
First season out of Detroit, he wins the Super Bowl. That's pretty crazy. It shows it wasn't him.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's the answer right there, man. Let's do one more division, okay, man? Who do you have winning the NFC South? The New Orleans Saints, the Atlanta Falcons, the Tennessee Titans, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I'll take the Buccaneers just because Tom Brady came back.
He
retired for a month maybe.
That's funny. 40 days.
Yeah, he was just playing around. Real football players knew the drive and the passion he has for the game. For him to actually retire, he's gonna have to be injured, and he's like, okay, it's not worth it no more. Other than that, I don't see why he would. He doesn't take the abuse every day. He keeps his body in tip-top shape, and just the way he leads the team, I think he'll forever win the division, or their division at least.
Right. So, man, what do you think? How, being a football player yourself and man, me personally, you've proven a little bit yourself, man. You've proven, man, you went to Tulsa, again, no Power 5 offers, and then you want to transfer, and man, you've got several Power 5 schools knocking on your door from the SEC and the Big 12, which means you put the work in, which means you got on the field, you made them notice you. You had a certain drive and passion that's put you in a different position than when you first started, man. So with somebody like Tom Brady, man, as an athlete, how do you explain his drive and passion to be his age and still performing the way that he performs?
Man, he pushes the limits on everything. Like he's extremely hard worker. I think he was a late round draft pick. Just wasn't expected to be who he is today, and he proved everybody wrong. Even when back in the day when he was at Michigan, he was a backup, and then he earned his starting role and became a team captain. It's just some people are born with that, like I call it dog, have that dog in them, and he's one of those people that just never lets the fight get to him. He wins everything, even when he loses, he's really winning in the end because of the way he prepares himself, the way he's preparing for that next game, and for the next time you play him, you're not going to beat him again. So I just like the way his work ethic is, and coming from me knowing what it takes to not necessarily get to that level, but work to get to a Power 5 level now in college it's a lot of work. It's a grind.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, Jaxon, man, thanks for sitting down with me today, man. I've had a good time, talking football with you, talking a little basketball with you, letting the people get to know you a little bit. We're excited to have you back home. Guys, if y'all are watching out there, y'all watch out for this big fella playing for the Baylor Bears this season. Lord willing, everything goes well for this guy in this football season. He'll be looking, to see where he lands on the next level in the NFL. That's his goals and his dreams. And again, this guy's a top 5 defensive tackle in the whole entire nation, and he's that way because he's put the work in. Okay, so Jaxon, thanks for your time, man. We look forward to seeing you on the football field one more time, guys. Jaxon Player, Baylor football. Keep an eye out for him, okay? Thanks for coming out, man. Everybody watching, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time, okay? We're out.
My car park, it's an arcade. Chevy big tuck, in the man, hold up, man. Pull up, stun. Yeah, though. Ice game flood. Yeah, though. Every day I'm hustling. Yeah, though. I be getting to the mud. Yeah, though. Shout out to my big bro, Tommy, man. She stay on her. Okay, how about this? Looking so awesome, looking like $1 million. Translation flossing. Hold up, stop, pose for the frame. Everybody know me, I'm a household name. Moolah.